Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show, and it's time for your Arsenal versus Leeds United post-match chat, post-match review. Leeds United beaten again. I suppose we all expected that. I mean, the record at Arsenal speaks for itself. We never do great. I predicted, the best we could hope for was a draw. Maybe we could have got it in the end. Wouldn't have been deserved. Let's be honest. Arsenal were well worthy of their 3 points. Leeds United went down with a whimper. And, of course, we ended up playing the game with 10 men as well for what was quite possibly one of the worst decisions by one of our senior pros ever, really. And especially when you consider the context of it and what it means for the rest of the season. Luke Ayling, love him, adored him, but, them sort of decisions are mental. Look, before I get into it, because I have calmed down a little bit, and I think even the goal that Leeds United did manage to score, how I don't know, has made me feel a little bit better, because goals do that. There was one stage I was on the floor and fuming, and I still am, but, I've had time to calm down. But before we get into it, smash the like, get your comments in, hit the notification bell, and subscribe to the channel, please. So Leeds United beaten 2-1, and now in the relegation zone, right? Now in the relegation zone. As you know, last weekend went as bad as it did, and then Burnley got beat yesterday, and it gives you renewed hope, right? Renewed hope, renewed vigour. I'd said even if Everton win, I said they would win, and they did win. They won 2-1. It's still not over. A lot of Leeds fans will disagree with me, but I have to be, it's still not over, because, yes, we're in the relegation zone. First time we've been in there since the start of the season. And I know it makes for horrific viewing, and it makes you feel, distraught, but we're still on the same points of Burnley. We have 3 games left. We've got 2 of them at home. Burnley have tough games as well, as do we, right? As do we. But it's still not over. I said Everton win away. They've got Brentford. They've got Palace at home, both on the beach. Everton will win them home games. Everton will start to pull away, unfortunately for us. As much as it pains me, that'll happen. But let's talk about Leeds United. I don't want to look too much into the future. I think we're still in with a shout, but of course we've taken another massive step towards relegation today. As days go, it can't get any worse. We've lost 2-1. Everton have won. We're in the relegation zone. Luke Ayling suspended, and the under-23s have been relegated at the same time as well. And it's almost laughable, because I've spoken about this before, and people believe I have an agenda and stuff like that, but I still believe the other guy should have been in charge. I'll say it, Bielsa. People fume at me for saying it, but it is what it is. We're not all going to agree. But Jesse was speaking prior to the match about Leeds United having, under his 3-year plan, the best academy in Europe, right? The best academy players in the first team. Competing for European football, creating world-class players that we can then sell on for a huge profit and rebuild the infrastructure of the club. We've got to stay in the division first, pal. Do you know what I mean? Because as it looks like at the minute, we're playing championship football. It seems to me for me, the team's regressing. The players are... Bate was amazing today, but he's only used because, not enough personnel or whatever. I don't know. It just feels very mad to be speaking all that before you've even stayed in the division. I don't know. Mad. Talks too much, man. Talks too much. Just, please, for a little bit. You know what I mean? We've gone from a guy who never spoke to a guy who'll just talk anytime you want. And so rod for his own back at times. You know what I mean? And now the under-23s have been done. Bielsa's gone and we've crumbled. And people say, it's not him. It's the board as well. It is the board as well. Because they never gave in the players. And now we have a championship squad. The team's not good enough. I hear that. I understand that. And some Bielsa has to take that blame. But what I'm saying is the drop-off for me has been quite visible. Because I want to talk about plan. I want to talk about what's the plan going into games, yeah? We don't have one, I don't think, under this regime. Under Jesse Marsh, we do not have a plan. Or if we do, I don't know what it is. I want someone to tell me what it is. I want someone to tell the players what it is, because I don't even think they know. I don't even think they know what's going on. You know, people talk about, oh, well, under Bielsa, we never had a plan B. We had a plan B against City. We went with 5 at the back. We looked all right. People said, don't feel like a 4-0 game. Jesse Marsh said, felt like, you know, almost like a win, fist pumping to the crowd. Then plays Arsenal away where we haven't won for just under 20 years and goes back to the previous system. I don't know. I don't even know what the plan is. Honestly, I don't. We had nothing in that game. We looked toothless. We had the 2 touches in the opposition box, I think, that came from the Firpo flick on header and the Llorente goal. Prior to that, we had no shots, guys. No shots. We didn't touch them. We didn't lay a glove. We did not lay a glove. Do you know what I mean? It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing as a performance in terms of attacking. I mean, just look at the attacking momentum there. Look at the attacking momentum there from Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? Tell me what's changed. This is what I want to know. Tell me what's changed. Because Jesse Marsh has got results against teams that he should have got results against. The only one different maybe might be Wolves, because Bielsa never got a result against Wolves. But Bielsa got more points from that run of games than Jesse Marsh did. We're now going up against top 6 sides. Yes, we were battered earlier on in the season, but we had a go. You know, the graph, that attacking momentum graph I've just shown you, don't look like that under Bielsa. What I'm saying is, for me, we look toothless. I don't know what the plan is. I don't know how we're going to score goals. Yeah, at least there was patterned movement. You know, I remember Scott Parker said scripted movements, all this sort of stuff. But at least there was a plan. People might argue the plan was worked out, and that's why we were losing games. Okay, I hear that. But again, there was a plan. For me, I don't know what's going on the football pitch. It's garbage is what it is. And we don't do anything. I spoke to you, I said about Calvin, don't look the same. Although when it got changed and we played with like 5 at the back at one point, I think, because Rafinha was playing right back again. I'll get to Calvin had a little bit more, and I'll get to that. Calvin had a little bit more space when I think he was alongside Bate and Harrison. There were 3 behind James. And he had a little bit more space and he was able to spray his passes. But when we play that compact system with a 4-2-2, for me, he looks devoid of ideas. He doesn't have the space to get on the ball, to spray the balls out wide. Because guess what? There's no one out wide anyway. There was one moment where Matthijs Klick just booted it and there was no one there at all. No one there at all. I remember Dan James won the ball after Melier had gone up for the corner, nicked off him. Nicola Pepe was in on halfway. Dan James, great challenge, then just smacks it with his left foot into a dangerous area, because I believe that's what they're being told to do. You know, we're going to play the counter press and hit it into areas and then win the battle. But that was shocking. You know, Dan James can't do decent passes with his right foot, let alone his weaker foot, and that's just facts. You know what I mean? But that's what I'm talking about. Anyway, Calvin, doesn't look the same. I said it before. Now Phil Hayes said it on Friday. Everyone's like on that, but you know, well, I'm just an idiot on YouTube. It is what it is. Rafinha, again, right? Jesse Marsh is not to blame for Rafinha getting a yellow card. Rafinha was then played at right wing back, right, against Martinelli, who was having everyone on toast. He had Rafinha on toast for the first goal. Why? Because Rafinha could have got himself sent off. He'd gone, man. I don't know. It seems a bit of a mad decision to be playing Rafinha there, especially when you consider the context of it. Yeah, when you can consider the context of where we were. Let's talk about the cards then. Let's talk about I mean, we broke the record today as well. They broke the record for the most cards in a single season since Sunderland. I think we've got like 96 or something cards. One of them being a red card, which came today from Luke Ayling. Absolutely gutted that it came on his 500th appearance. 500th appearance for the club, and he's done that. It's an abomination, really. Like, it's disgraceful. It's disgraceful that Luke Ayling's done that, right? Let's look. We've got a leadership group, right? I think it's BS. It is what it is. We've got a leadership group, right? Luke Ayling's within that leadership group. Your other man, Rodrigo's been benched. He's in that leadership group. Benched. Luke Ayling's in this leadership group. He's captain today. And he's behaving like that. Yeah. Well, the leadership group's not working because you've got a man there who everyone's looking up to, who's your captain of this football club for the day, and does that. It was disgraceful. It's a straight red. And what makes it worse for me, right? What makes it worse for me is the time it's taken. Like, he's about 10 yards away. So he's got time to switch that off. Do you know what? I'm not going to do this. But he absolutely smashes Martinelli. It's a straight red, no questions asked. But not only that, he's now got himself done for the rest of the season. We are without a right back now, a proper recognised right back until next season. What are you doing? Do you know what? He might not play for the football club again. I'm not advocating that. I do like Luke Ayling, but he's done us over. How can you make that challenge within the context of where you're at? You know, I think Jamie Carragher was on at half-time, and I know Jamie Carragher's a fan of him because he'd said so before. But basically, he said, you know, I love him as a player, but what an idiot. Lack of professionalism for not only him, but for his teammates, for the fans, for Leeds United. Stupid. You know, because it's a disgusting tackle because he's off the floor. He's two-footed. He could have hurt Martinelli. And he's now got himself suspended. Suspended till next season. Yeah? Suspended till next season. That means Leeds United are without a well-recognised right-back. And this is something you can blame Bielsa for, so I'm not just all coming from one side. The other right-back we've got has just won player of the season at Cardiff. And can't play because he wasn't used correctly. But what I will say about Cody Drama, much like the team today, maybe I was too harsh on him because I called him rubbish after Arsenal because he got tortured by Martinelli. But Martinelli tortured Ayling and Rafinha anyway. Martinelli tortured Ayling that much that he decided to nearly scythe him down, cut him in half. Do you know what I mean? Professionalism. Where was it? Disgrace. Disgrace, Luke. I'm sorry. Like, I love him as well. I love him. But to do that within the context of where we are, we're now without Stuart Dallas as well. Yeah? Stuart Dallas, Luke Ayling. You've got, I mean, who's going to play fullback? Who's playing fullback? People will go to Jamie Shackleton, but I don't think Jesse March sees that because he'd have made that change today. He'll probably play Rafinha there. Rafinha shouldn't be playing fullback for me. Please stop doing that. Because he's not great going the other way. I'd argue James is better. You know, Rafinha's never filled me with confidence when going the other way. He's our best player. He's our best player. He's the one that's going to create magic. Not from right back. Stop playing him there for me. Yeah? Please. Because that's my worry now going into this next three, that Rafinha's going to be at right back. Because who else is going to play there? Koch was playing there. He got caught upfield a couple of times. He doesn't have the technical ability to be able to cross balls or if chances do come. So Jamie Shackleton is the answer for me. But will he go to him? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't know where we go from here. But that first 30 minutes was disgraceful. Not only because of the cards, because of Luke Ayling. You know, Rafinha as well. I forget the protesting that he did. After Ayling got the yellow card, he nearly got himself sent off. And that's even more frustrating because, and again, I come back to this leadership group. If your captain's doing that and behaving in that way, best believe that other players in and around that club will think it's acceptable to do the same. And I'll come back again to the previous regime, which I know if you're a Bielsa hater, you're probably switched off by now, so it don't fucking matter. But none of that happens under Bielsa because he doesn't allow it. He doesn't allow it. But then again, on the flip side, I'm glad that we do have a little bit of bite, but it's spilled over today and it's heads gone, and their heads have gone. You know, being 2-0 down in the manner that we were. I mean, the first goal, Melier, what are you doing? You're not Edison. I think it's twice now he's done something similar against Arsenal. Shocker. I missed it on the watch along because there was nothing there. Luke Ayling played him in. All he had to do was get shot. He takes a touch, Eddie, and Ketia, scores. Of course he does. He was bound to. I had him to score any time anyway. I did put a little cheeky bet on that because it was inevitable that would happen. And then he got the second as well. And to be honest, we did well to stem that because it could have been a rout. It could have been a rout. But the first half an hour, we were disgraceful, rudderless, as Graham Smith called it on Twitter. Ridiculous, said the square ball, heads completely gone. And then I think Mateus Click got a yellow against Xhaka. Like, I genuinely was worried. Like, I was thinking, we're going to end up with less men here. We're going to end up with less men here. I'm glad that it only finished 2-1 because it could have got a hell of a lot worse, couldn't it? If we're being totally honest. Like I say, we were all over the shop. It was just a disgraceful half of football, really. Giving away the goals in the manner that we did, and then our captain doing that. And it almost feels inevitable, sort of. Like when you're seeing this team sort of dismantle itself and sort of like eat itself from within. Do you know what I mean? Like Cooper can't stay fit. Bamford can't stay fit. KP looks like he's regressing. Rafinha, yeah, we're not playing him to his best abilities. I can't lay it at his door. Dallas now gone, broke his leg. Ayling out for the rest of the season. It's so disappointing. So disappointing. I think Jack Harrison, what I will say, second half performed really well. He tried to get us back into the game. I thought Lewis Bate was class when he would come on, and I would advocate him starting alongside Calvin because Click keeps starting, plays rubbish and gets brought off. Clearly not a fan of him, clearly doesn't suit the system. And a lot of that's due to the fact that, what's also pisses me off is like we were supposed to make a transition from Bielsa to a coach like it. I thought Jesse Marsch knew how to attack and played this free-flowing stuff. We're not seeing that, people. We're not seeing that. There is no attacking plan. There is no attacking plan. And if there is, tell me what it is, because I don't know and the players don't know. And that's just facts. That's just facts. And people will say he hadn't had time. The previous manager had 6 weeks. People will say it's not his players. Well, why have they made the decision to bring him in? A coach has to do it. That's what it's there. I had people tell me before, this is a championship squad. Yes, I understand that, right? But the previous manager made them better. So let's not pretend that coaching can't do that because we've all seen it with our very eyes. It happens. Do you know what I mean? It happens. So let's not pretend it doesn't. We finished that first half with 0.0 XG. No shots, no chances created. Terrible, shocking, It almost went from bad to worse, I think, in the second half. Meslier, again, he had a poor game, but I mean, there was one strike, I think, from Odegaard. It almost went through his hand. It was cleared off the line by Diego Llorente, but Meslier got his hand to it. It went through him. Do you know what I mean? At least, though, in the end, we made a game of it. We got a goal on the 66th minute. It changes the mindset slightly. Had we have not got that goal, I mean, I don't know if it can be worse than this for me as a content creator because I'm not one really for losing the head. But, I mean, it'd have been worse for sure if we wouldn't have got a goal. And I guess the second half, we did have a little bit of fight. Great finish from Llorente, corner. It was funny because we hadn't had anything all game, a sniff. Then we get a corner and the Leeds fans in the corner shout out to them and saying, we've got a corner. We were celebrating it on the watch along, so we got a corner. And we score from it. Junior Firpo with the assist. Llorente, back post, bang, great finish. Striker's finish. And you're hoping for a little bit of something, but it didn't come. We had the corner later on. Meslier was up for it. Like I say, Pepe nearly got away. James challenged him and then he uses his left foot and it's just game over then at that point. But, Graham Smith hit the nail on the head, I think. He said you can and should credit the fight and heart. I'm sure Marsch will major on it, i.e. he'll speak about it. But Leeds United are probably up against it. And it's going to take quality, not just character, to get out of this. And we need quality. But we need to utilise that quality in the best positions for me. Rafinha, go back to it. Play Calvin on his own, in the single pivot. Play Rafinha out wide. Hopefully Bamford's fit. Play Bamford up top on his own. Play Rodrigo off Bamford. Play Bate. Do you know what I mean? Get Cooper back in the side alongside Llorente. Maybe Koch will play right back. I don't know. That's where he played. Do you know what I mean? But in the end, yeah, just not enough. I mean, Jesse Marsh is saying, I would just say we dug ourselves a massive hole and made a difficult take much more difficult. Resigning to the fact, of course we have, you know. We've made some fatal errors. We're in a hole. We have to dig ourselves out, you know. But he's doing an interview saying that we're... I don't know, man. Sometimes just like... I would maybe stop talking. But, you know, disappointing in the dressing room is massive now. I have to find a way to be positive, says Jesse. Of course he do. And he says it's time to be pragmatic, not pretty. Well, no disrespect, the pragmaticness is minging and you're not doing anything going forward. Do you know what I mean? It's all good being pragmatic, but you have to do something the other way. And we're not doing that. We're not doing that. So I don't know if that's been levelled at those that are saying, oh, well, at least we had a goal. But it's true, man. It's true. I don't know. I don't know. Like, there's a stat here. Tomiyasu played more final third passes than any other player on the pitch and did not misplace a single one. He's playing left back. He's playing left back against the right wing back of Rafinha. Do you know what I mean? After Luke Ayling sent off, no wonder he had it all his own way, Tomiyasu, because he's coming up against Rafinha, who's not a winger. Listen, I could go on all night, and I don't want to make it into a bashing session, but I just don't know if what we're seeing is right and it's working. Because I don't. Well, it's not, is it? Because we've gone backwards. We were all buzzing after we got them positive results, but we're now regressing. We're going backwards, yeah, and we're going to get relegated if we're not careful. 3 massive games. The next 2 at home, massive. Chelsea at home, massive. Massive. We have to hope and pray Burnley lose to Spurs and we can do something at home, because that's where it's got to count now, at home. At home. So hopefully we can get that. Listen, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Like the video, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, and I'll see you in a bit. Peace out. Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.